Hey guys, going live right now, obviously. Jason Timothy here, musicsoftwaretraining.com. You're probably watching, if you're watching live, it's on the Facebook page. If you're watching the replay, it could be on that page, or YouTube. If you've never heard of me before, I hope you enjoy this. So I wanted to give you music producers just a little thought experiment. This is going to be less of me giving you any like real solutions necessarily. It's going to be more about trying to guide you to make some of your own solutions to some of your own music production problems. All right. So here's the thing. Most of you guys are getting stuck in one area or another in the music making process, right? And I believe that a lot of this has to do with self-inflicted creative rules that you give yourself. In other words, you feel like a song has to be approached in this particular way, and you have to have these certain fundamental pieces of knowledge in order to take your song to the next level. And I believe to some extent this is true, okay? But by using this thought experiment, I think that you could find your way around problems instead of feeling like you've got to go kind of straight through the middle, right? I've got plenty of personal creative challenges, but they don't stop me from making music that connects with people. And it's always been the case, since, I was playing guitar way back when in bands. It's always been the case of just kind of, first off, accepting the limitations, and at the same time, not really creating a rule that says that I have to get past that limitation. It's just, okay, this is what I know, this is what I'll do. So with that said, this is the little thought experiment. These are some of the things that I thought might be helpful for you to think about. First off, when making a tune and you find yourself stuck, ask yourself, what if this was easy? What if there was an easy or easier way to accomplish what I'm trying to do? All right? See, the thing here is that a lot of people lack, they believe that complexity is going to be the thing that makes them great. And the funny thing about that is that that's what everyone aims for. So complexity actually ends up being kind of the norm, and it usually doesn't connect as well with people. Whereas simple ideas are often overlooked by people who overthink things, and it's usually those simple ideas that tend to connect with more people. So I look at simple as kind of a streamline to originality, where complexity tends to be kind of the producer's default. So it's like you're trying too hard to impress yourself rather than kind of focusing on, first off, the enjoyment, and also understanding that whatever you create is going to connect with some people. You're never going to connect with everyone all the time. So you need to accept where you're at. So here's the thing. Some other questions that you can ask yourself is, what would you do if you allowed yourself to cheat? It's an interesting question, because then it forces you to define what you currently think is cheating in the music production game. But what if you didn't have that rule? What if you didn't make that rule for yourself? How much easier would things be for you, right? And by thinking about that, maybe you'll consider how hard you're making it for yourself now. Maybe right now is not the time to do things in this particular way. Maybe the best approach is the one that gets you to the finish line. All right? What if there were a way around your current challenge? What would that be? What would it look like? What if you didn't have to know music theory? What if you didn't have to know sound design? Well, what ways around those two things can you give yourself, right? What are ways to get around not really knowing song arrangement, right? What are some ways around that? Just think about it. See, the problem is a lot of people really, day to day, they just go by default thoughts, and they stop really thinking new thoughts. So forcing yourself to think new thoughts, it can kind of be fatiguing, So we don't do it very often. But that's what I'm trying to get you to do here, is to start thinking your own thoughts. Instead of me just implanting the answer, I'm just kind of planting the seed so that maybe I can help you come up with some answers. Here's something to think about. What if someone offered you $20,000 and said, you have 2 days to finish this song. We really need an original song finished. And you can't buy any new equipment, and you can't hire a ghostwriter. And you have 2 days to finish a track. What do you think you would do? How would you approach that? If there were $20,000 on the line, how do you think you would approach finishing a song? How do you think you would approach getting through the challenges that you currently face? Would you take on the challenge, or would you just turn this person down? And if you were to accept the challenge, what are the steps that you would take? By going through this thought process, I think you're going to come up with answers that you haven't allowed yourself to have. You know, what if this wasn't a problem? What if there were ways around these challenges? What if I had even less time to finish a track? What if I allowed myself to cheat, whatever that definition might be? What would you do? And the last question I'll ask yourself is, are you boxing your creativity in with self-inflicted rules and beliefs about music making? There's really no right and wrong answer here. And I'm not going to give you an answer because really it's yours to choose. But I hope that this just plants some new ideas into your head. So with that, that's really all I had to say today. I hope that you get something out of it. If you do like these sorts of thought experiments or some of the other stuff that you've discovered on my pages, feel free to like the page or subscribe if you're on YouTube, hit the notification, that sort of thing, and we can keep this conversation going. With that, have a fantastic day, and I'll speak with you guys real soon. Take care.